I want to talk to you about. Let's talk about the new album, and let's talk about first of all you've written a song called "Get a Hold of Yourself."
Yes,
which I don't know if it's deliberately an anthem to masturbation, but it feels, certainly having watched the video of it feels like it. I mean, I think you've leaned into that.
I did lean into that, yeah. So, I wanted to raise some eyebrows. I think I did. I raised yours by the sounds of it.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen that. There's a Saltburn, isn't it? Is the
that's where it came from. So the song itself, it was written lyrically. It's basically about the freedom of self-expression, getting to a certain age, into your 50s, where you're like, I really don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about. I've earned the right to kind of do what I want to do, love who I want to love, say what I want to say, make the music I want to make, and I feel a certain freedom right now, that I felt like I probably didn't have in the early days. Yeah. So I wanted, and also it's a very much almost similar to The One and Only in a way. It's a self-empowerment song. Yeah. It's about it's about overcoming adversity and following the positive things in life, and not worrying about the small stuff, and just realizing that you can concentrate on the positive things in life, and it does keep your mental health in check. Yeah. So that's the kind of sentiment behind the song. So I wanted when we started to look at doing a video, I wanted to do something that reflected that feeling. Something bold, something brave, something liberating. And I was watching that film Saltburn that you mentioned. And for those of you that haven't seen it, there's a very iconic scene in this film, at the end of the film, where the lead character basically he dances around stark bollock naked. His is like full frontal.
He shows the lot.
He does, yeah. And so, so I brought this idea to my management team, and my wife was very supportive, actually, right from the very beginning. Most of the team
were trying to get rid of you.
Maybe, but most of the team were like, "You're fucking mad. You're a 53-year-old bloke with a dad bod. No." And so I thought, okay. So I kind of, then they started bringing other ideas, and I was like, nothing was matching up to literally just doing it. That liberation of doing it, and it just stuck in my craw, really, So I went back to them. I was like, guys, I think we have to do this. I think I have to get my kit off. So we did, or I did. No one else did. It was just me. Yeah, and it was liberating.
Was it?
Yeah, you should try it, Rich.
I've done a lot of nudity.
You've done a lot of nudity.
Yeah. It is liberating. I wrote a play where I was full frontal nude for about 3 minutes in the play, and it was very liberating. Apart from one time when the play hadn't gone very well. When you're acting, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's you, right? So it didn't, and it felt like it fitted in. But there was one night where it really hadn't worked. The play wasn't really working, and I came out naked, and it was on a rake seating. There were some 8-year-old girls sitting.
Oh, Jesus.
Sort of level to where my penis was on the rake seating, and then I get knocked out, and usually they throw something over me to cover me up, and they threw it and they missed, so I was then lying for a further 5 or 6 minutes, knocked out with just my cock flopped on and that wasn't liberating.
That was
sound
very fun.
That was a pretty bad day. But look, you look amazing. You do look amazing. I don't want to. I've seen you naked. Haven't seen many. I've seen Julia Sawada naked. So this is preparation for.
You got that one on me.
It is bold, and it's definitely people talking about it.
I mean, at the beginning of the day, I was a little bit apprehensive, and of course, when you turn up on a film shoot, it's like you don't know anyone. It's like, and you meet the choreographer girl, and you meet the makeup artist. In fact, I was sitting at the makeup and she said, "So, what are you wearing today?" I was like, "Nothing." She said, "Oh, you mean you're just wearing this?" I'm like, "No, nothing." She's like, "Oh." Yeah, it was interesting.
So did she have to make up everything?
Well, there was a little bits of powder in certain places.
And were you covered for your modesty?
No, not really.
No.
There were moments when I was covered, when it wasn't particularly needed, if there was a banister in the way and I was dancing around the banister, but most of the time I was swinging in the wind. Wow. And actually, you talking about that 8-year-old girl in the audience, there was a moment where I was dancing naked in a big, because it basically was in a huge country mansion. It was actually it's called Arley Hall in Cheshire, where they filmed Peaky Blinders.
Yes, okay.
So it's like this incredible stately mansion, and so there's big windows, and it's of course open to the public. And we were trying to be aware that trying to keep people away. But I looked over at one point when I was dancing naked in the window, and there was a girl pushing a pram. So it's like, I think we need to probably close those curtains, guys.
And did the owners of the hall know you're going to roll around on their chaise-longs with your bum out?
No, they didn't. Not until the last minute, and then they couldn't say no.
Yeah, so they've seen the video. They burnt all their furniture.
Well, fun enough, there was a lady that was in charge of the place who was kind of like our liaison to the house.
Right.
And she kept coming up. She goes, "Do anyone want a cup of tea?" I was like,
well, look, it is bold, but also like you are a very youthful looking man in his 50s, I have to say, and you've kept it together in a way that some men in their 50s fail. I hate it.
I
hate it when men let themselves go. It's a testament to you. But I think there's something quite empowering about seeing. Again, it's when you see usually it's older female actors who go naked in a part to say, hey, look, this is what women are really like.
Well, there was a nod to that. In Calendar Girls was definitely part of it. I mean, obviously there was Saltburn. There's a bit of Risky Business. Obviously, Calendar Girls. There was some Full Monty, of course.
Yeah,
same kind of thing. Yeah, and there is something empowering about that. I mean, we can have fun in our 50s. That's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, our kids don't have to like it, but my youngest was like, "Did you have to shake your ass?"
It's good. There's a little bit of a wobble in there.
He's having a midlife crisis, Mum. I don't know what to do.
Well, I don't know if it sold you any records, but
no, it was fun though.
Well done on going for it. And I've heard the album, and there's lots of stuff going on there. It's still really. There's lots of different styles of stuff, but there's some poppy stuff I think people will enjoy, and then there's some more thoughtful stuff, and some of it feels like a 50-year-old man writing, and some of it feels like a 20-year-old man writing, which I think is good though. It feels.
Yeah, I mean there are some like kick the doors down pop bangers that you would expect. But I feel like you get to a certain age and you do look back introspectively at your life, as we all do, and you kind of like grab the little pebbles and kind of dusty old pebbles and give them a dust off, have a look, have a cry, realize that there was some kind of there's certain shit things that happen to you in your life, and you have to kind of maybe for me that was cathartic. That's my therapy, songwriting, and songs that kind of like had to be written. So yeah, I mean that's what, and I feel like maybe at this point in my life I've never been quite so free with my songwriting, and it feels good. Yeah, it really does.
And is this a sort of conscious decision? I know you've released a lot of albums over the years, but it feels like there's a real...
Yeah, this one's a push.
There's a push behind
this one. There's a proper push here. We're like, A-list Radio 2. I've got another single coming out now. And yeah, it's definitely... I've put everything into this, Richard. Yeah. I have released records that I'm proud of, since the one and only. And I am proud of those records. But this one in particular, it has some kind of energy behind it that I wanted to make sure that I gave it its full, push.
Sure.
Yeah.